Hello guys, JamesWhiteDragon here, and today I'm going to be discussing my top 10 Yu-Gi-Oh cards of all time. Okay, this will take from the very start of Yu-Gi-Oh to now. These are my own opinions. Feel free to let me know your own opinions down below. And hopefully, if I'm lucky enough, my friend Chris, who is our editor, will actually edit things in for me. So if you are Chris, please put a smiley face just here. And if it hasn't been edited, I'm going to look like a complete and utter twat. But yes, so card number one. We'll start at the top. So card 10. This is the last one on the list, so everyone doesn't get confused. So my favourite card, number 10, is probably I'm gonna have to put that there to be, and sorry everyone out there, probably Slifer the Sky Dragon. Okay, so why Slifer the Sky Dragon there? Well, obviously it's in my top 10 because it is part of the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, and I am a big fan of the series. Although I do play the game competitively, that's why it's kind of at the end of this list, because it is one of my favourite cards, but it's not really usable in the deck. So there are going to be some interesting things on this list. So that's number 10. And you know, it was Yugi's, the first time I saw this card when Yugi played it, I was just like, wow, it's a dragon, it's like a snake, oh my god, it's red. And as we all know, it's called Slifer the executive producer, but I think it was Sky Irish Dragon in the OCG, in the Japanese version, which makes more sense to me. But yes, so Slifer is number 10. At number 9, which we're going to put here, Chris P put it here, I'm going to say it's got to be, and everyone's going to hate me for this, it's going to be Raigeki. Okay, Raigeki is here at number 9 because it is that card as a kid I always really wanted to have, and it was at its time one of the best cards in the TCG and the OCG. It was banned for a very, very long time because you can destroy all your opponent's monsters, and cards like Dark Hole were, you know, destroy every card in the field. There was a cost to using it, whereas Raigeki, you could literally have a full field of monsters and they have one set monster and you play it, nuke their field. Obviously there's a lot of counteractions to Raigeki now, but back when this card came out, it was the best card. It came out in LOB as a super rare. I have my non-first edition upstairs, which I keep in my collection. If I had a first edition one, it would be like graded and be worth a lot of money. Sadly, I don't have a graded LOB first edition. I do have a LOB Dark Hole. Was it LOB? I think it's LOB. No, it's Starter Deck Yugi First Ed Dark Hole, which is sadly slightly battered because as a child I didn't look after my cards very well. Back down to number 8. Number 8 spot goes to Blue Eyes White Dragon. Why is Blue Eyes White Dragon only in my 8th? It's because I'm a big fan of Kaiba. I really like his stuff, his cards, his style. Blue Eyes is such a beautiful card. I wish I could put it further down the list, but it's one of those cards that you can't really, you really have to put an effort into building its deck. I built it a couple of years ago when it kind of came back with Spirit Dragon. It got its new support again, and I was really enjoying it with Blue Eyes Alternative, but it kind of went, it's hard to explain. Like, if I'm having an anime themed duel, I definitely want to, I want Kaiba's deck because Kaiba's got the strongest monsters, but I don't know, I don't know. I feel like Blue Eyes, is that card that I really wish I had. If I had an LOB Blue Eyes, it would definitely be at number 1, but I only have, I think, my rarest copy is a starter deck Kaiba one that's a non-first ed. So yeah, anyway, moving on along the list is another anime card, and this card is Wind Dragon of Ra Sphere Mode. Okay, so I put Sphere Mode here because it is a very competitive card at the moment, and I do love Sphere Mode. And actually, I'm liking all the new Ra support that's coming out, but Sphere Mode is my favourite because it is the card that I put in my side deck to combat a lot of combo decks. A lot of you may know that I'm a Pendulum player. I'm sorry, I'm that scummy. I like playing Pendulums. I have built a DDD deck, however, which has Pendulums in it, so technically can still be classed as Pendulum. I'm going to stop talking. Anyway, so Ra Sphere Mode is at number 7 because it's a very competitive card. There's lots of uses for it, and if you are using the Ra archetype, I think you can special summon a Ra from it. I haven't checked the second part of the effect, but I believe you can. Chris, let me know, put a tick here if I'm right, if I'm wrong, put an and a little frowny face or something. But yes, so that's my number 7 slot. We're getting closer to our top 5, but at number 6, I'm afraid to say number 6 goes to Dark Magician. Dark Magician gets the number 6 spot. Again, I'm a huge fan of the anime, however, this card isn't very competitive. It's a fun card to use, and I really loved Yugi, so I always wanted Dark Magicians. In fact, when I was a kid, my deck, because obviously we didn't know what the rules were really, consisted of, I think, 3 Dark Magicians, and it was all like blue eyes and just all high level monsters together. And when Yu-Gi-Oh! GX came out and they were suddenly fusion summoning all these weak monsters, I was like, oh, they got all these weak monsters, look, they're not going to stand up to my 3 Dark Magicians and my 3 blue eyes. Of course that deck was really, really bad, but to be fair, it got stolen from me, so I don't know, whoever got that could enjoy my first edition Dark Magician that I had. Anyway, so card number 5, and this spot goes to, drumroll please, Dark Magician Girl. Now, Dark Magician Girl is definitely one of my top 5 favourite cards, and a lot of you know my fiance Sarah actually is a cosplayer, and one of her cosplays is Dark Magician Girl, so this has got to be my top 5 for that particular reason. I think she's going to be annoyed it's not number 1, but hey, I have to be honest, it's not a very competitive card, but it is a very cool looking card. So much so that it's had many different artworks over the years, some of which are not released in England, and if you would like to see those, we'll have a selection come across the screen now. But yeah, Dark Magician Girl is that fan favourite card that everyone recognises as being part of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise, along with Dark Magician and Blue Eyes and Red Eyes. But Dark Magician Girl is kind of that fanboy favourite. If you're a Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan, you tend to have a crush on Dark Magician Girl, like Cyrus! And what was it? Like Cyrus had a crush on Dark Magician Girl and swore they were going straight for like 2 years or something? That was pretty hilarious. I think, what was it, Alexis's comment was like, what, did you guys decide to see other monsters or something? That was funny. Anyway, so yes, Dark Magician Girl takes my number 5 slot. My number 4 slot has got to go to Evenly Matched. And I put Evenly Matched in my number 4 slot because it is a very, very competitive card. I sadly only have 2 of them. I need a 3rd for my side deck. And I also need a copy of the card I'm going to put next on the list. Evenly Matched, when it first got introduced, was such an impact on the game. Being able to go straight to your battle phase, playing it, and just being able to banish your opponent's entire field was such a interesting thing that hadn't really happened before. So having a card this powerful was just something new, something interesting. But yeah, that comes to my next card, which is another one of those cards. Sadly I don't have one of these. If I did, I'd be very happy. Number 3, we have Lightning Storm. Lightning Storm is a combination of my favourite card, Rugeki, as well as Harpy's Feather Duster into one card, with a condition that your opponent has to control, I think you have to, yeah, your opponent has to control a monster. I can't remember the stipulation. I don't use the card at the moment because I don't have one. I don't have 80 quid. But yeah, no, I believe it's got a stipulation to it to make it a hard to use card. But yeah, it takes my number 3 slot. Moving up to number 2, and the card I'm going to choose is, I really hate to say this, Mystic Mine. I hate Mystic Mine, but it's at my number 2 slot because it is a card you can't ignore, especially for people using budget builds of things. Mystic Mine has the effect that if your opponent has more monsters than you do, they can't activate monster effects or attack, which is a really, really, really hard thing to get around when you don't have any spell and trap card destruction in your main deck. So I've taken, because I'm a pension player, I take advice from the pen god, that is Triff. Triff, hats up to you, my friend. And yeah, I think you're all interested in what my number 1 card is, and it is a Magician card. My number 1 card is Magician's Song. Unsurprisingly, it's such a broken card in Pendulum, it was in a certain archetype that sadly has just been hit. I think we all know what it is. I'm not going to mention it, but it has a master plan in it. I think you know what it is. Anyway, Musician Soul is such a generic card that is just so useful. And in Pendulum with Selene, it's so broken. You can literally send any card, send an Endymion to the grave, special summon Musician Souls, and you then use it to go into Selene, bring back your Endymion and stuff like that. I'd like to take a moment to mention some honourable mentions. So honourable mentions are going to be Red Eyes, Endymion, and also Pendulum Magician, Harmonizing Magician. Those are my three kind of that I'd like to mention. Anyway, so that is my top 10. Everyone's going to have a completely different top 10, but that is mine. If you have any problems with my decisions, especially putting Mystic Mine at number 2, please let me know down below. Please, yell at me. And comments are, what make this channel good. Anyway, so please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I will see you in the next one. James out.